So to the second episode of the Japan's News. My name is Donovan, or Dono for short in Japanese. This is my kanji, which has a reading of Dono or Tono, depending on the usage, both of which mean Lord. So please refer to me as either Dono Dono or Tono-sama, as I'm your Tono for this video. Are you going to become fluent by watching the Japan's News? Oh heavens no. It's a good supplement though. It's an okay supplement. Either way, let's just describe it as a supplement to your Japanese studies, or just something to watch for fun. I don't even care if you're learning Japanese, as long as you watch it and like and subscribe to it, you're cool. Now, this is the second episode of the Japan's News, so maybe it doesn't suck so bad. I wouldn't get your hopes up, though. Let's see those expectations low, please. The format of the Japan's News is basically as follows. We'll go over some recent Japanese news stories and get some studying in at the same time. Isseki, Nicho, baby. Yosh! Hajime yo! Yoroshiku! Well, it has finally been accomplished. The Chinese have figured out how to land a helicopter on a moving airplane. Here, you see a helicopter from the Chinese army preparing to board a Philippines army plane in midair. Just kidding, that's probably not what's going on here, but who the F takes pictures like this? Score for them. They've got us all fooled. I mean, at least me. Sorry, I don't pretend to speak on your behalf. This picture of a Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy helicopter was taken from a Philippine Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, BAFAR, plane above the South China Sea. Now, it doesn't really have anything to do with Japan or Japanese, but it was in the Japan Times and the picture looked really cool. Again, they got me. Now into vocab. All right, so the first vocab word is helicopter, which means helicopter. Second word is hedi, which also means helicopter. Third one is bacha bacha, which also means helicopter. Fourth one is bacha 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 bacha, which means. Now this is the sound a helicopter makes. So I looked it up and it said that the sound is something like but that just sounds stupid to me. I mean, think about it. If you're sitting there playing with a helicopter, does that sound very cool to you? No, it doesn't. My kids would always say, bacha, 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 which sounds way cooler. No, I'm not dogging on the onomatopoeia that is bururun. I'm just saying that bacha, bacha sounds way cooler. You could also say bata bata or pata pata, which is more in line with bacha bacha, but bururun is a straight up N-O from me. Ain't gonna do it. Anyway, not much of this really has anything to do with this article, but that's fine because the really cool thing was a helicopter looking like it was landing on the plane. That's the whole entire reason I even picked this article, because it looked cool. Clickbait. They got me. Consumption of matcha in Japan has decreased, while it has increased in the rest of the world.
Mr. Officer, wait! I mean, there's these people, and they're in my parents' house, and they're eating all their food!
Riki means drinking all their matcha. So there has been a ton of overtime in Japan just to keep up with the demand. Something needs to change to remain sustainable. Some well-known companies based in Kyoto put limits on how much you can purchase, and many stores even sold out of some of these products. The product that has been sold out the most is the first flush matcha, but subsequent crops are also seeing increases in demand. You know, it takes about 5 years for matcha shrubbery to mature. A shrubbery! And to produce a good product, so you can't just plant some more and immediately start producing. There are other issues that need to be taken care of as well. But don't worry, they're looking into it because they know the people need their matcha, that special green powder of the Japans. Oh, wrong picture. But that is one possible explanation of this increase in demand. Some people possibly mistook the leaf for a separate, but slightly similar looking product, thus a surplus in purchases leading to a shortage of green tea leaf product. Supply and demand, 101. I ain't no expert though, and it's really not important, so we'll stop theorizing and get into the vocab. All right, so the first one is matcha, and that means matcha, like a type of green tea. Second one is nakunaru, which means to run out or to run out of. Next one is gonenkan, which means 5 years. So you've got go, which means 5, and then nen, which means year, and then kan, which is denoting a period of time. So it's 5 years of time. So 5 years. Next one is matcha ni chudoku. So, and that means addicted to matcha. Now, you could also use ni chudoku with anything really. You could use it with juicy fruit, juicy fruits ni chudoku, or you could use it with your mom, kan ni chudoku, addicted to your mom, or anything, really anything. You put that, anything ni chudoku means I'm addicted to that thing. And then the next one is matcha ga nakereba, beef o nomeba ii no yo. Now, this apparently is a play on Marie Antoinette's famous saying that if there's no bread, eat cake. After that, I'm pretty sure she also said something like duh, which probably pissed a lot of people off. And the last one here is Mary Jane. And that means Mary Jane. And we ain't talking about Spider-Man's girl. A survey released by lawyers in a racial profiling case showed 71.1% of foreign nationals in Japan have been subjected to police questioning on the streets in the last 5 years, which is nearly 6 times more than that of Japanese people. It is the first time a survey has been conducted to compare police questioning of foreign nationals and Japanese. The fudge is this? They actually questioned 71.1% of foreign nationals on the street? Yeah, I'm calling this BS. This is clickbait. In fact, looks like they only questioned about 500 foreign nationals. Yeah, that'll give you some great stats. Let's see. They excluded those who look Asian, and they also excluded multiracial people. So who does that even leave? Atashi? These lawyers say some cops told them they were given quotas to fill to question foreigners. That may be plausible, but I'm not sure if I believe that or not. Pictures or it didn't happen. Bruh. According to the lawyers, there was also, apparently, a foreign national crackdown enhancement month. Okay, yeah. So, I'm not really buying into this. Sounds to me a lot like a few foreigners did some really stupid crap, and they are now claiming prejudice to get out of it. I mean, look at who released the survey. The prosecuting lawyers did. Something definitely smells fishy here, and it ain't maguro, because that stuff's good. Smells more like kusaya or naruzushi. All right, now the first one is kusai, which means smelly. Second one is sakana kusai, which means fishy. It smells fishy. Third one is kimochi warui. Kimochi waru. And that means gross. Next one is kimoi, which means gross. It's just shortened down. It's like, ugh, kimo. Next one is kimo, and that means gross. It's more of a, kimo. Next one is gaijin, and that means foreigner, and it's a little bit disrespectful. Kind of like dirty barbarian. I mean, not really, but, it's not very respectful. The next one is gaikokujin, which is foreigner, and that's respectful. It's like normal. The next one is gaikoku no kata, which means foreigner as well. It's just more respectful. Next one is bengoshi, and that means lawyer. And now the next one is usotsuki, and that means liar. Now the Japanese get these mixed up in English because they sound so similar. They can also be used to describe each other. I joke. Jodan yere. The last one is jodan. I'm joking. It means it's a joke. I'm joking. Cherry blossoms are going to start blooming throughout Japan, starting from the southernmost part of Japan to the northernmost. This will span from later this week in Kyushu and Tokyo and move up through Japan all the way up to about May 7th in Hokkaido. It takes about a week or so to achieve full bloom. It's so freaking awesome and beautiful. So if you're gonna be in the Japans around that time, I would advise on planning your trip around these days so you can see them in full bloom. But pray for sunny and calm weather, because if it rains or is really, really windy, you're screwed. Okay, so now onto the vocab. Konshu wa means this week. Sakura wa means cherry blossom, sakura. Sakura no hanabira means cherry blossom petal. Next one is mankai, which means full bloom. And then kirei means beautiful. Kaze wa wind, kaze. And ame wa rain. So ame means rain. Next one is omae wa mo owari ja, which basically means you're screwed. Now, omae wa is a lower form of you, saying down to someone, usually. Mo means already, and owari means finished, or you're done. You're cooked. You're cooked, bruh. So, omae wa mo owari ja basically means you're screwed. And the last one is inoru, which means to pray. And now for our final topic. This one is complete BS. BTS, that is. Sorry. So Jin, from the world-renowned Korean boy band BTS, had been in his mandatory 18-month service in the army. He just recently got out and had a special party for 1,000 people where every one of the lucky selectees were able to hug him. Isn't that cool? And things were going great until it came to the turn of a 50-year-old Japanese woman. She pranced up to Jin, hugged him, and then went in for that juicy kiss on the neck. I'm so upset. She took his neck virginity from me. I mean, I'm devastated, completely broken as a human being. How could she violate my Jin like that? I guarantee she was fugly. Or she had old man stink breath. One or the other, or both. Because let's face it, if it were otherwise, and she were drop dead gorgeous, it would have been just another day in the life of that BTS dude. I wonder how many other girls landed a good necking on him that day without any repercussions. Interesting subject to ponder about. But we ain't gonna ponder. Pondering gets us into assuming. And as my father once told me as a wee lad, to assume is to make an out of and. Okay, so now to the vocabulary for the last section. So the first one is busaiku, which means ugly. The second one is busaiku. So you got that little chichaitsu there to give some emphasis. Busaiku. And that means fugly. Third one is bus, which is it's a condensed form of busaiku, and that just means ugly or ugly person. Bus. Next one is kuchikusai. And that means bad breath, aka old man stink breath. It actually means mouth smells. So kuchi is mouth and kusai is smells bad. All right, next one is sekuhara. And that means sexual harassment. So sekuhara is in katakana. So you've got seku and hara, and that's actually two words meaning sexual harassment. So you could be saying sexuaru harassmento, but that's a huge mouthful, so the Japanese just shorten it down to seku and hara. Seku, shuaru, hara, sumento. So sekuhara. Sounds way cooler. The Japanese love doing that kind of thing with words, and a lot of times they sound pretty cool. Next one is neckingu, which means necking. Okay, so the next one is kisumaku. And that, this is also katakana, and it's a joining of two words, but it's not really breaking them down. So this is kiss and mark together. So kisu maku. That means hickey. Isn't that just cool how they do that? They just put those words together and just make something really kind of funny. Funny and cool. Kiss mark is hickey, whatever. Now, it doesn't look like she had actually latched on long enough to do that kind of damage, but you never know. Don't underestimate the suction power of a Japanese woman in her golden years. Well, that's all for today's episode. Make sure you have both liked this video and subscribed to the channel with them buttons down there so we can make sure you don't miss any cool episodes or any other cool stuff. So until next time, when we bring you some more Kuru Deru news from the Japan, matane. Bacha, 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 bacha. Say that a million times. Bacha, 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 mushroom, mushroom. That's what it sounds like. Bacha, 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 bacha. Bacha, bacha, where's that helicopter? There's another helicopter. Bacha, 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 burudim, 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 bacha, bacha, bacha. See, the burudim got shot down like a mofo. Another joke. Both bacha, bacha, bacha. Bacha, 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 bacha. I'm gonna faint.